Back everyone. It's been about a year since I made my last video on some of my favorite free photo editing apps for your iPhone. Now this is great if you're somebody who just really uses your phone for mobile editing, things like Instagram, TikTok, photos, whatever the case is. And I will have all these linked down below, but I'm gonna tell you, I genuinely do think the best photo editing app for iOS, for really iPad, any other iOS device out there, iPods, is this app called Hicks Art. This is the app. I'm sure everyone already knows what it is. I talk about this app a lot. This is not sponsored even. I'll tell you this, they try to upsell you on so many things and it's very annoying. Even things like this, like I have to constantly like log back in and everything. It's so annoying. But what I will tell you is that overall it's a very solid app. I've had nothing but great experience with this app. Again, they try to upsell you too much, but theoretically you can really do so much in every single TikTok tutorial I've seen, any single thing like that. They've been pretty much, keeping TikTok. They've been pretty much using Pixart for all those tutorials. So pretty much what it is you have all these different, canvases you can choose from, videos. You can even edit videos, I assume. But you can bring in photos. And what I typically do is I'll go ahead and bring in a photo like this. And from here, you can go ahead and essentially add all these different effects. You can add text. You can crop your photos, whatever you need to do. One of my favorite things I do is crop out, a specific thing and add it in afterwards. That was something I did all the time. Another big thing is adding text. Let's say if you want to say hi, whatever, not that. You could go ahead and just add text, click accept or for whatever here, and essentially just keep editing. I mean, the editing capabilities are crazy on here. I've edited a lot of my thumbnails for my YouTube videos within PixArt if I have to quickly go somewhere. And as I mentioned before, there's just so many different things here, so many different filters. It's pretty much endless amounts of capability that you have here. You have so many different stickers. I guess again here you have to pay for some, but I think the big thing here, rather than actually editing like the photo filtering or anything like that, the main thing that I've used this app for the most part, is essentially adding more things within this photo. If I wanted to go ahead and let's say I wanted to add another photo on top of this, I can go and click here and bring in another photo, click add, and I can just keep adding more and more photos, keep editing these photos, add them all on top of each other, and kind of move in that direction. Rather than just focusing in and like adding filters and flares and stuff, this is my number one app. And if there's only one app that you need in order to edit photos and video, just edit photos, Hicks Art is the one I would highly recommend. Again, it's not perfect. It can be annoying at times, but this is a pretty important app in my opinion. Now, hopping out of this one, the next one I want to hit on isn't the other two yet. I will tell you, the stock iOS Photos app has so many different editing capabilities that you may not even have to download an app. So first of all, make your way over to your Photos app. You want to go ahead and open up any single photo. Let's just say you want to open up this one. Let's just say it's a screenshot, whatever. All you have to do is click that edit button on the top right. You'll come into this panel. All you have to do is click those three dots on the top right. You'll come right here, and here you can go and click markup if you want to, and you can go ahead and really just mark up, draw, whatever you want to on these specific things. So let's say I wanted to zoom in and I wanted to circle around, the specific Instagram icon. Well, I can go ahead and just circle around it like this. But a good thing within iOS 14 is that you can go ahead and essentially just hold it down while you circle it, and you can draw perfect shapes. And that's something that I've been talking about for a while. You can draw perfect squares or rectangles or whatever as well. And it's a great little thing. But on top of that, another humongous thing that I do all the time is I essentially use this photo editing thing right here to edit filters and add different, characters within the photo. So right here, you can go ahead and click auto, which is right here, and it'll automatically dynamically change the photo without you even having to change any of the parameters with that one button click. Now, typically what I like to do is I go through each one of these things. I typically just change each thing, whichever way I want to. Again, this isn't exactly what I do, but it's essentially what I go ahead and do. You can go ahead and change, like I said, a lot of different things within this one stock photo app. You can draw, you can add these custom, flares down here. You can rotate the item. You can go and click back here and change all these things. The capability behind this is pretty much insane, and there's so much stuff you can have even within the stock iPhone editing app. So within that, that's pretty much the other favorite thing that I love talking about and love showing. Now, the other two apps I think are runner-up. I think, Snapseed and Lightroom, they're great apps too. Like I mentioned, I think I would rather have PixArt, but I think the stock photos app has basically all the capability that you're going to use on a daily basis. Now with Snapseed, this is actually a thing made by Google, And this was like a very popular app back in the day. I don't think it's like super popular anymore, but this was strictly pretty much for, filtering and all this stuff. Google actually had some really good filters within here, and they would use a lot of AI and machine learning and stuff, I'm sure, to kind of improve the overall look of the photo. You also had this little tools icon right here. So you had a little bit more capability. So within this specific app, there's a lot. Like I mentioned, I like, Hicks Art more. But here you can go ahead and add text, you can go ahead and draw, you can go ahead and do all these other different things. One of my favorite things that I would always do is use this little thing, and it was like a little perspective thing. I don't know, maybe you have the same thing within Pixar, but you can go ahead and kind of change it around a little bit and change the perspective of it, so you can go ahead and see how that looks. And that's something that's actually pretty interesting. If you want to kind of bring it back and bring it kind of like that in a way, it would go ahead and kind of build out that image, and you can see that. I guess that's the furthest it can go for me. You can go ahead and move it around like that, and the possibilities, like I mentioned, are endless with this specific app. It's a great little app. There's a ton of different capability. Again, if I go into tools, you can see all these different things. There's just an insane amount of things here. And the good thing is it's completely free. You don't have to do anything else super crazy with it. As I mentioned, the capability is pretty much endless, and I don't remember the last time they updated this app, but every time I open it, there's always some new little capability. And this is another massive app that I would highly recommend you guys to look into. Now, finally, Adobe, if you guys know Photoshop, Adobe pretty much made Lightroom, which is also another small little photo editing app for your iPhone. Now, it is completely free. I have not ran into anything where I had to pay yet, but knowing Adobe, they will probably have to make you pay for something eventually. That's just how they are. But within this app as well, there are a ton of different things. This is, I think, up there with Pixar. This one has a ton of different capability. First off, you have the standard stuff, cropping, adding text, adding photos, all those things. But as I mentioned before, you just have so many things that I don't even know where to start. I guess I can go and start here. I mean, first of all, you have like whatever this thing is. So you can add more details within these photos and everything, and kind of go from there. So I'm sure it's just sharpening up the photo overall. And again, you just have every single thing that you have on the other apps within this one as well. Now, one good thing about it is that it is pretty much made by Adobe. It is made by Adobe, and they are the same people that use Photoshop. So if you're on the go, you can use an app like Lightroom and kind of get similar type of experience. I think there is full-blown Photoshop on, your iPads, but still on your iPhones, you have a lot of capability within this specific app as well. And here you go again. I think here's something you have to pay for probably. Let me click X and see what happens. Then this one, there's a lot of different things within here. This, I guess they're trying to make more of like a social media kind of thing going on with it too. But I really do think Lightroom has a lot of capability, but I'm just not a humongous fan of the layout of this app. As I mentioned, I like Hicks Art, I like Snapseed, and I like the stock photos app. This one is like a third runner up in my opinion. So in my opinion, if I had to rate them all in hierarchy, I would say the stock photos app is my favorite thing. I use it on an everyday basis. I don't really use Hicks Art that much, which is like my second place. The stock photos app, with the amount of capability this thing has, I don't really need to use a different app. I can just use this app and get everything for the most part that I need to get done with it. The second place, in my opinion, would be Hicks Art. I think Hicks Art is awesome. It's a great app. It has a ton of capability, and a lot of tutorials I've done on my second channel, even on this channel, I've used Hicks Art, to kind of guide you through on how to do certain things with your phone. Then I think third place, or at least somewhat tied to Hicks Art, is Snapseed. I think Snapseed is great. As I mentioned before, it has a lot of capability there too, and then followed by Lightroom. I think Lightroom is probably number 4, and that's pretty much how I would say. Again, all these will be linked down below. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it means so much if you guys could hit that. Also, check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my other channels. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.